Happy Easter, you guys. It's good to see you. Come on out.
I did some of the things that the nursery person hid for us.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
the nursery person is looking for us.
Did you give the nursery person an Easter egg hunt? Well, guess what? That's my first question. Has anyone done an Easter egg hunt? Or are you planning to do an Easter egg hunt today?
I'm going to do two.
Two, maybe.
After church.
We got a lot of it. Yeah?
I already
That sounds like so much fun, going to your grandparents to do an Easter egg hunt. What about you, Amelia?
My grandparents are also going to do it, but I already did another Easter egg hunt.
Oh my goodness, we're chock full of Easter egg hunts this morning. I love that. I have a story about, not Easter egg hunts, but sometimes I think it's easy to say, well, Easter is all about Jesus. What are these eggs doing here? And so I have an old story for you all today about Easter eggs. So, this is a story about Jesus' friends. And so the story of Easter actually starts off pretty sad. So there's Jesus, who we've talked about in church. And Jesus comes and he loves everyone in such a big, miraculous, astounding way. His love so big that the government where he lived, the Roman Empire, starts getting a little bit anxious and upset. And they say to each other, you know, we don't treat people very kindly or fair. And this Jesus guy keeps telling everyone that everyone deserves to be loved, everyone deserves a roof over the head, and everyone deserves to have a meal in their bellies. And we just can't have people believing that. It's bad for business. It's bad for business, the business of empire. But, so this is the sad part. So, because he was loving everyone so big and telling everyone this good news, they said, we can't have that. And so they killed him, which is really sad. And you know what? All of his friends were so sad too. And they couldn't believe it that their friend had died. And so, when he was killed, they buried him in a tomb, Jesus in a tomb, which is like a big cave. And then after they buried him in the cave, they pushed a big stone across the entrance to the cave. And so some of his friends, some women, wanted to go visit him after he had died, wanted to go to the tomb and just kind of grieve and be sad alongside the tomb. And so when they got there, though, these women, does anyone know what had happened? No? The big, heavy stone that was across the tomb was rolled away. And there were two dazzling, sparkling angels there. And they said, your friend isn't here. Christ is risen. And the women were shocked. They didn't know how to make sense of this. What do you mean someone who is dead had risen? This doesn't make any sense. But they were so excited at even the hope that their friend might be with them that they went and told all their friends, all of Jesus' friends. And then, in this old story, I've inserted a little bit of what I like to hope happened. So, Mary Magdalene was one of his friends, and she was trying to make sense of how could someone that was dead rise from the dead? How could somewhere that seemed so lifeless like a tomb come to life? And she was out with her chickens, and she pulled out an egg, and she thought, this is how. Look at this egg. It's white and fragile, and it seems like what life could come from here. And yet, if you sit and watch and hope, a fluffy, cute little bird comes out, and there's life and joy that comes from this pretty lifeless place. And Mary thought, now that's how it happened. That's what happened. Even if life can come from this egg, surely God can bring life from death. And so she goes, and this is back to the old story, not my imagination. So she goes and tells everyone, she said, Christ is risen. It's just like this egg. Joy and life come from unexpected places. And guess what? She gets an audience with the emperor of Rome. And she says, look, here's this egg. Christ is risen. And you know what he says? What are you talking about, lady? He says, it is just as likely that a man has raised from the dead as this white egg turns red in your hand. And guess what happened? The story says that the egg turned red in her hand. It was as if the egg itself was saying, oh, look what God can do. Look at the love that God can bring even from dead, empty spaces. And even when we see pictures of Mary Magdalene today, she often has a red egg painted in her hand because she was the apostle to the apostles, one of the first to say Christ is risen. She's the reason we say Christ is risen on Easter today. And so when you see Easter eggs on your Easter egg hunt later, or maybe on your second one, I hope you think of Mary Magdalene and all of the hope that love and joy could come from unexpected places.
Red eggs.
Yeah. And I also hope you think of Jesus, whose big love changed the world. Happy Easter, you guys. Thanks for listening to my story. You can go get back with your parents.